Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 94 of Inside the Vault, a Carolina Panthers podcast. I am your host, Ryan Smith. This is your reaction to Carolina's 16-13 victory over the Green Bay Packers up there in Lambeau Field. Well, I was actually fortunate enough to go to Lambeau for this game. My bucket list stadium destination has been crossed off. I was actually in Lambeau for that contest. 16-13 victory for Carolina, where they improved to 5-4 on the season behind 49-yard field goal by Ryan Fitzgerald to walk off the Green Bay Packers. Rico Dowdle accounted for 2 touchdowns in this game, a 5-yard rush and a 1-yard rush for the other scoring drives in this game. Bryce Young, 11 to 20 for 102 yards and an interception. I did not think the interception, while it was kind of an egregious interception, I think the wind kind of took it a little bit there, in the end zone. Would love to have seen points on that drive, but, a loss that did not happen. Rico Dowdle, 25 carries, 130 yards, and 2 tutties. As I mentioned, Todd McMillan, 4 catches for 46 yards. Turk Wharton had a key sack there on Jordan Love in the first half. Christian Rosebud, 15 tackles, 7 solo tackles. On the other side for Green Bay, Jordan Love, 26 to 37, 273 yards and interception, where he was picked by Trayvon Morningwig for that interception. Romeo Dobbs had a really good day, 7 catches for 91 yards. Unfortunately for the Green Bay Packers, though, I think this game turned when Tucker Kraft went down on a friendly fire block. Sean Ryan, their offensive tackle, kind of went into him after Nick Scorton went low on Sean Ryan. Very legal play, but unfortunately, Tucker Kraft was able to not put any weight on his leg, and he ended up getting carted off, and it was eventually diagnosed as a torn ACL. So hate to see that for a guy like Tucker Kraft, who's really been coming on as a tight end in this league. But this game was all about ball control with Chuba Hubbard, with Rico Dowdle, running the football, playing opportunistic defense on both sides of the ball, flying to the football, minimizing those gains by the Packers. The Packers were driving multiple times in this game, but the defense was bending but not breaking, short field goals instead of touchdowns. We did get the miss by McManus, obviously, to keep us ahead. So that was obviously big there as well. And then Jordan Love, the interception to Trayvon Morningwig, as I said earlier. And then what should have been, let's be honest, on that 4th and 8, they decided to go for it instead of kicking the field goal, which I thought they should have kicked the field goal. Packers did it towards the end of the game. But Mike Jackson should have had the pick six there, going the other way. That would have sealed the game and made it a little less interesting. But a loss. The Panthers picked up an absolutely huge victory in Lambeau on Sunday, proving that they can win not just on the road, but they can win it anywhere if they can win in Lambeau. I mean, absolutely huge, monumental momentum victory, culture changing victory for this franchise. Ejiro Evero, I'd like to see him disguise more things on defense. I believe Greg Olson in the broadcast called out how some of this defensive alignment is very predictable. So I'd like to see that covered up moving forward and adjusted a little bit by Ejiro and their defense. You saw towards the end of the game the Rico Dowdle Bryce Young communication where I believe Dave Canales called for a running play for Rico, but it looks like Bryce told him to go into pass protection instead, and then at the last second, he gives him the ball for the 19 yards to kind of seal the ground game to get set up that field goal by Ryan Fitzgerald. Great call by Dave Canales there. And really, I want to give Dave Canales and Tracy Smith, the special coordinators, credit towards the beginning of the game. They took the ball so that they would have the wind to their back in the fourth quarter, and just excellent awareness of the type of day it was at Lambeau, which I was there, 45 degrees, very windy at times. It was whipping, and I had 4 layers on. And the Green Bay fans, really nice people, enjoyed my time in Green Bay. Get a brat, go see Lambeau. It was amazing. Just an iconic, historic place to watch a football game. And to see the Panthers come out with a walk-off victory is even sweeter. The Panthers, let's go over the stats for you. As again, the Panthers walk off the Green Bay Packers 16-13 here on Inside the Vault. Green Bay had 20 first downs to 19 from the Panthers, 63 total plays to 54 for the Panthers, 265 total yards for the Panthers, 369 yards for the Packers. Both teams have just 7 drives. Packers 265 passing yards, Panthers 102 passing yards. Panthers 163 rushing yards to the Packers 104, which I think was the difference in the game. And two turnovers for the Packers, one by the Panthers, also winning that battle. Five penalties for 39 yards for the Panthers, seven penalties for 42 yards for Green Bay. Time of possession, 30 minutes and 10 seconds for Green Bay, 29 minutes and 50 seconds for the Panthers. And on fourth down, Carolina was 2 for 2 on fourth down, and the Green Bay Packers were 2 for 3. Carolina just 4 for 10 on third down. Packers 7 for 13. Yeah, so I mean, the box score, not the best box score overall, pretty even for both teams, but really, I mean, the Packers definitely won some of the box score items. But winning the turnover battle, being very even in time of possession, running the football, and being able to, at times, Bryce Young was able to make great passes and moving the chains when necessarily. Bryce Young to Jalen Coker, Bryce Young to Ted McMillan, Bryce Young to Rico Dowdle. And then shout out to Chuba Hubbard, was able to, on that kind of fumble there by Bryce late in the third quarter, I believe it was, picked it up and kind of went for 8 yards, even though it looked like it was, I think it was an incomplete pass, but they called it. Ended up being a fumble, and Chuba was able to smartly get the ball and run for some more yardage there before the Green Bay had a chance to pick it up. Really, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it here on this Panthers 16-13 victory over the Packers, my recap here on Inside the Vault, I think this victory is going to serve the Panthers well going forward, no matter how many wins they end up with this year. But they snapped um, a winning streak going back to 2008, the first time they've won in Lambeau. Bryce Young now ties Geno Smith, Patrick Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts with 9 game winning drives since 2023, his rookie year. Just great stuff from Bryce Young. But Panthers run first team, play opportunistic, aggressive, physical defense. Lights out special teams. Sam Martin doing his thing. Ryan Fitzgerald rather has been nails as a rookie. He has its moments where he's missed some, sure, but he has been opportunistic as a Panthers rookie kicker. And then when it comes to this game, I mean, after splitting coaches, David Canales said, Rico, we're going to make you the guy as the lead back. 130 yards, two touchdowns, as I said. The ground first identity, the aggression, the violence by Rico, energizing the entire sideline. Um, Ryan Fitzgerald, ice in his veins. His second game winner of the season, as I said earlier. Um, Coach Canales loves to talk about a common denominator of accountability, physical toughness. And he talked about being able to clean up some things, which again, you want to see those things cleaned up in a win rather than a loss, but had some pre-snap penalties, had 12 men on the field called, I believe, at one point, had some execution issues as well. But shout out to Ike Ekwonu on the offensive line. Shout out to the whole offensive line. Ike Ekwonu shutting out Michael Parsons. Did not record a pressure all day. First time in his career. Damian Lewis came back in with an injury, but glad to see him come back in. Austin Corbett starting at center. Shout out to Josh Nyman, former Packers right tackle, getting the start in place of Taylor Morton, who was active but as the backup on this day. And then Jake Kurhan. Shout out to right guard Jake Kurhan coming in for Chandler Zavala, who ended up leaving the game early. And Jake Curran held it down on the offensive line in the offensive lane, giving Bryce time to throw and Rico Dowdle the lanes he needed to get things done. Really, though, if I had to boil this game all down to it, Rico Dowdle running the football efficiently, Bryce Young, his clutch final drive after they scored to tie up the game at 13. And really that Rico celebration forced the penalty. And then obviously Ryan Fitzgerald missed the extra point. Luckily, the Panthers did not get that, did not cost them, thankfully. Um, those two turnovers by Jordan Love and defensive stops at times where they either had to settle for a field goal instead of a touchdown, or like I said, when Brandon McManus did miss that one field goal, that swung some momentum in Panthers' favor. But the Packers, they had their time as well. Great catches by Matthew Golden down the stretch. Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, as I said, had a really good day. Jordan Love can really sling that pill. This Packers offense is going to be fine. They just had a not as good of an efficient day yesterday, but they're going to be fine. But this Panthers team has got some momentum going for them. 6-4 is what we hope to be next week as we host the New Orleans Saints in Charlotte next Sunday at Bank of America Stadium. Look for my preview episode for the Saints at Panthers coming up later this week. This has been Inside the Vault, episode 93. Panthers over the Green Bay Packers, 16-13. Last second walk-off field goal, 49 yards by Ryan Fitzgerald. Again, I was in Lambeau Field. So lucky to be able to cross that stadium off my bucket list. An absolute iconic stadium, historic stadium, an excellent place to watch a football game. I'd recommend going there if you have a chance to do so in the future, whether it's with the Panthers going there or just another football game. But an outstanding road environment in Lambeau. The Panthers were able to walk off the Green Bay Packers for their fifth win of the season, equaling their win total from last year. That'll do it here from Inside the Vault, episode 93. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. And again, I'll see you on Thursday for Panthers Saints preview.